Hey, good morning, church. Welcome back to the Ride In. It's Wednesday, December the 11th, and we are in the Ride In this morning. Welcome back. It's a kind of mild for winter, but it's rainy and wet and gloomy and overcast, and I like those kind of days. I wonder if you do. If you're a melancholy out there like me, let me know in the comments. But appreciate you tuning in this morning. And as I was reading through my devotions this morning, I came across the story in the Old Testament in 1 Kings of right around the time of Elisha, and there's a story of a gentleman by the name of Naaman. I don't know how much of a gentleman he was, but Naaman was a captain in the Syrian army. He was a mighty man of valor. He had apparently some great accomplishments under his belt. He was just a highly respected military leader, but he had a problem. He had leprosy, and I'm not sure what all that meant in Syria. I know the Jews had some very strict rules for lepers that just really doomed them for a life of isolation. But I don't know what they did in Syria, but I do know that at the very least the outlook for the disease was not good. Certainly the leadership probably was discouraged to lose a great general or captain like this. And the thing of it is, he wasn't a Jew. He wasn't a part of the covenant people. But that through a process of events, he had captured a Jewish girl through raids or whatever. And he had as a servant or slave a little Jewish girl. Don't know how old she was, but I want you to think about the context of this girl. You know, she was taken from her homeland, living in Syria, living with a man who had done much harm, damage to her people. Perhaps she was taken from her home, away from familiarity, away from worship, the true worship of her God, and she was called upon to live a context of life that she did not choose for herself, and to be a servant to a person who had, in a sense, destroyed her life. Carrying water, making meals, cleaning clothes for a man and his family that had destroyed her life. Think of that. But that being said, she apparently did not allow the difficulty of those circumstances to destroy her faith. She believed in the God of Israel, and however she was able to maintain a heart for God, a belief in God, and a faith in God, that two things: one, she believed that her God could heal Naaman, and two, she had enough compassion in her heart and love to share this information with Naaman. I mean, think about it. Wouldn't you, if you were in that situation, and at least in the flesh, be like, yeah, I hope he dies of leprosy. I hope it's a bitter, cruel death. I mean, that's probably pretty dark, but I mean, think of the context of her situation. But I'm just so inspired and challenged by this unknown girl that kept her faith and didn't allow an abuser, in a sense, somebody who had ruined her life, to ruin her life. mean, somehow she kept the joy in her heart. She kept faith in God. She kept hope. And the fact that she shared this information and Naaman took it to heart. Naaman believed that there was something about this girl that made what she said credible. That this military leader would go to the God of Israel to find healing, to the prophet Elisha. And I'm not going to go through the whole story. Many of you know what happens. He does ultimately get healed, but the focus is on this girl. The focus is on how this girl didn't allow the worst of circumstances to keep her from having faith in her God and keep her from having love for people, even the people who caused the situation that she was in. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. Perhaps she thought, I don't know, but perhaps she thought that if her master would learn of her God, that maybe he would be turned to the truth and that would affect her ultimate outcome. I don't know. Here's the thing. God's ways are better than our ways. And love is better than hate. Compassion is better than vengeance. And whoever has hurt you in your life, you know, if you had the opportunity to be a blessing to them, what would you do? If you found out they were sick and dying, how would you feel? And would you want to share with them how they could be healed? That's amazing. That's challenging. And I made the testimony of this little girl be a challenge to us this morning. Wow. Not exactly even sure where to go from there. So, if you find yourself in a circumstance that you didn't choose for yourself, or if you find yourself even imprisoned, in a sense, would you still show love to people that have done you wrong and harm? That's a challenge. Think about that, church. I love you. And may that be a blessing to you today. Have a great day, Lord willing. We'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.